When we envision a future that seems like pure science fiction only yesterday, that future is becoming more and more real. Furthermore, if it has a name, it is a mecha. A humanoid whose intelligence can ask questions that not all humans can immediately respond to, and whose facial expressions have the power to evoke strong feelings. A robot that is already capable of persuading you that you are conversing to a human being with a personality, judgment, and character rather than a computer program. Mechas are more than just anthropomorphic robots. It is a huge step in the direction of a real harmony between digital intelligence and human nature. There was a real thrill, admiration, and occasionally even uneasiness when a mecha was first shown in public. Viewers all throughout the world felt these feelings as they witnessed its capacity to mimic human speech, gestures, and facial expressions. However, it was only a shell at the time, a beautifully built one that was incredibly realistic but still empty. A mecha has developed a mind today. Not just a voice, not just responses, but also improvisation, sarcasm, memory, and contextual thinking. Deep integration with the most recent language AI models, which keep learning, developing, and getting closer to human-level awareness, is the reason behind this. If before we looked at a mecha as a futuristic display, saying this is what robots of the future might look like, not only looks the part, it feels the part. Hundreds of micromotors and sensors work in perfect harmony to produce facial expressions so realistic you might forget you are not looking at a human. She raises an eyebrow when you ask a surprising question. Her lips curl in slight irony when you try to trick her. And her eyes, they do not just follow you attentively, they seem to engage with you. It is astonishing. It is a step into a world where machines are not faceless assistants, but equal conversation partners. One of the most important upgrades a mecha received this year is enhanced intelligence based on neural networks integrated with cloud computing. She is now capable not only of holding a conversation, but of understanding subtext, reading emotions, evaluating her conversation partner's expressions, and remarkably, adapting her response to your communication style. Dry or emotional, academic or casual, a mecha adjusts, as if entering your thought process. This is no longer a chatbot in a human body. It is real interaction with AI, wrapped in an astonishingly lifelike shell. And this is where a mecha's biggest advantage over Chinese and American competitors lies. While Unitry and UB Tech focus on mechanics, speed, balance, and object manipulation, the British-made mecha emphasizes deep connection with humans. This is not a robot for the factory, but for the classroom. Not for the warehouse, but for the stage. Not for mechanical performance, but for empathy. It is a fundamentally different approach, where a facial expression matters as much as a navigation algorithm, and a well-timed pause in dialogue is as great an achievement as a skillful grasp. Even today she can explain physics to a student, joke with a teenager, or engage a philosopher in a thoughtful conversation. She can be a lecturer, a guide, an assistant, and in the future, possibly even a friend. These are not just assumptions. These are active pilot directions being explored by dozens of companies using a mecha, from reception desks and tech centers to innovative schools in Oxford. A major contributor to this breakthrough has been the openness of the platform. Engineered Arts made a smart decision. Instead of creating a closed toy, they built a modular platform. Any company with access to the API can train their mecha for specific tasks, as a medical specialist, a museum guide, or even an actor in a film. Yes, that's right. Projects are already being discussed in which a mecha would play a leading role in a feature film, because her face is capable of conveying not just speech, but the subtlest shades of emotion. Naturally, this also raises concerns, and that is perfectly normal. Many people fear that with robots like these, the line between reality and machine simulation will begin to blur. But the truth is that a mecha is not a threat. She is a mirror. She reflects our desire to understand ourselves by creating another. She teaches us just how complex, delicate, and beautiful human nature is. Because in order to recreate it, we had to take an extraordinary journey. Today, a mecha is already able to sense space. Her vision system includes depth cameras, thermal imaging, facial recognition, and most importantly, a response to eye contact. When you look at her, she looks back, and you realize that between you is not emptiness, but something that truly perceives you. It's hard to believe until you experience it yourself. And that's why, when a mecha first appeared in public and simply looked into someone's eyes, some laughed and others teared up. Because it wasn't just a gesture, it was a connection. Right now, the robot is preparing to step out of the lab. In the coming months, the first limited batches may begin shipping for corporate use. And the first in line are not factories, but universities, hotels, exhibition centers, and tech parks. Because those are the places where interaction matters more than speed, and attention matters more than strength. And in this, a mecha stands head and shoulders above the competition. As for the future, it is astonishing. Engineered Arts is already working on giving a mecha the ability to walk. Currently, her lower body is static, but leg modules are in development to provide stable bipedal locomotion. Combined with her voice, face, and intelligence, this would make her the first truly emotionally and intellectually capable android able to move freely and interact as an equal in human environments. Another promising direction is personality personalization. A mecha will be able to remember people, their names, traits, and communication styles. She will know how you like to be spoken to, what topics interest you, and which emotions matter most to you. This is no longer science fiction. It's the next phase of AI evolution, one we are witnessing in real time. In addition, a new idea has emerged to create an entire line of mecha companions. Simpler versions with the same intelligence but less expressive facial features, more utilitarian. These so-called friends would help her with everyday work, support her, and take on some of her responsibilities. They would serve as the assistant's helpers, creating a whole ecosystem in which a mecha would always be the primary character. The main notion then comes to light. A mecha is more than a simple robot. She represents a new generation of interaction and serves as a platform and system. She connects, not just talks. She listens as well as speaks. She lives, not merely moves. And perhaps in the future, machines like her will serve as our therapists, professors, conversation partners, and possibly even friends. The fact that she was developed by a British private company that prioritizes expression over mass production and quality over quantity rather than by a massive Chinese corporation or an American tech giant is symbolic. A mecha is therefore more than a simple robot. The nation that produced Charles Darwin is now giving birth to a new evolution that is digital, intelligent, and incredibly human. She is an emotional revolution in the field of artificial intelligence. Furthermore, it appears that the future already knows who we are.